together opens that up.
We're not scared.
Sure. Kind of panel.
Please introduce yourself to the microphone.
I'm Zeb Wells, co-creator and writer, and I played Jubot on SuperMansion.
I'm Breckin Meyer. I'm voice actor and co-creator.
Xbox fan.
And an Xbox fan. Yes, 360 and
Now,
the Xbox.
Top Keegan-Michael Key. Go ahead.
I can't.
Oh, are we following him? Great.
You guys started on top.
Fantastic.
Best.
Jubot is my favorite character.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. So she's allowed to like him. Yeah, it's a hard name. Sometimes I'll be, you know, because you meet at the beginning of the day and go through the stages with everybody, and sometimes I choke on that name. Like, you know, doesn't roll off the tongue. It doesn't feel right.
Is he curious?
Yeah.
He's so offensive. Everything on the show is so offensive. So he's fantastic.
That's Zeb for you. Zeb's really offensive.
How much more offensive are your characters gonna get? Are they gonna?
I don't know. It's hard to say because I think working on Robot Chicken for as long as we have, you get decalibrated. You don't know what's offensive. You don't know what's offensive anymore. Like,
shatter.
Yeah, because like just hearing you say that, I'm like, that's not that offensive, is it? But then you watch an episode, and you're like, oh dear God, what were we thinking? Yeah.
It's so like quick and smart. I was saying that to Keegan and Matt before. Like it's so smart. Like you might actually miss being
right. Yeah, which is what I hope for. So hopefully most people it'll just go shoo.
So working on like Robot Chicken with having like just individual little scenes and having like a whole big narrative, like what kind of challenges have you come across, like kind of stretching it, not stretching it, but like building a whole universe comparatively to like kind of having
Yeah, I think that is the challenge because there are no throwaway jokes, and I think Robot Chicken, if you go too far with a character, it's fine because the sketch is over and you never think about it again.
Yeah.
But in something like this, you could go one step too far with a character and suddenly the audience doesn't like that character anymore, and that carries on for the next 20, 30 episodes, and you've just ruined a character for the audience. So you have to be much more thoughtful about everything. And the kind of jokes you tell, and all the jokes need to be based in character and say something about the character. They need to be jokes that only that character would do. You know, you can't
knowing your character.
Yeah, you've got to really know them. And when you first start, you don't really know them that well. You're sort of discovering it as you write it. So
yeah, that's kind of what I was going to ask. Like with the first season, moving into the second, like did you build in stuff to kind of like keep moving with? Like like small little tidbits that you're gonna now use.
Yeah, definitely. I think we pick up some threads in season 2. I was really happy with a lot of the villains, how they turned out, how funny they were, and so we spend a lot of time with them. We see them buy they have to go find a lair, so they have to go buy one. They get a lair next to a nice Arby's, and we spend a lot of time with them. And yeah, I like, you know, and I'm a comic book fan, so I like the callbacks. I like building a continuity that we can return to. Yeah.
You gonna ask the comic questions?
Oh, I'm gonna ask comic questions next, but first about the visual stylization, because there's such a specific Robot Chicken palette for stop animation as opposed to what we're doing here. I mean, should we watch on a phone, or is a big screen a better way to get all like the little Easter egg subtleties that might be going on?
Yeah, I think that the show's definitely made to be watched on a big screen. I think that a lot of people worked very hard on those puppets.
I think very few creators watch it on a phone. It's best. It's best. We intended to make this show for the small format.
Yeah, do not blow it up.
Yeah. It's terrible.
I actually just had a friend that came out and visited that I used to paint houses with, and he had been watching it on his phone, and then when he actually saw it on a big screen, he was like, "Oh, you guys actually worked really hard on this." Oh, sorry, Zab, I didn't realize what was happening. And so, yes, please don't watch it on your phone if you have a choice. But if you have a phone, just please watch it on your phone.
Yeah. On the subject of Easter eggs, do you think that for fans, if they go back and watch it again, even the first season, that there's going to be something that they didn't see and be like, oh my God, yes!
Yeah, I think they will see a lot of connective tissue that might have seemed like just silly ideas the first time through, for sure. if we did our job right.
All right, comic question.
Yeah, well, the comic question was very first comic book you ever bought yourself.
Bought.
People say given versus bought, but either.
Yeah, I think I was given a box of comics when I was a kid, and the one that sticks out was giant size Spider-Man #1, which I think was Sinister Six. It had those badass pin-ups, like the big splashes. So that
Those are cool.
and then when we moved, we ended up moving houses, and I needed something from home, so I started buying Spider-Man again. And I think the first one I bought was the Mike Zeck Spider-Man, the black costume, Craven's Last Hunt, which is awesome. So I got hooked pretty hard by those two things. Craven's Last Hunt. Now Breckin, take it away. Oh, I had a girlfriend.
It was literally coming out of my mouth.
You got a life as a gangster.
I was in films that I had girlfriends, so. Have you ever bought a comic book in your life?
What is a comic book?
I know. First of all, I was a Mad Magazine fan, so I was not as comic related. I was a
that
Mad
counts.
Magazine. I came into but what was the you'll know this. What was there was the Wolverine thing. It had him on the cover like this.
Oh yeah.
Frank Miller one?
Is that the Frank
Miller? Yeah.
That was the first thing I remember buying where I was like, I'm gonna learn about this guy. He looks kind of cool, and that was it. So that's the first thing.
Okay, I've got it.
Yeah. Okay. Sweetheart, what were we talking about?
When's the big dance?
Yeah. Who do I go with? Yeah, but whichever one had that guy. Yeah, the one Hugh Jackman played.
I think it was like a 4-issue.
Yeah, it was thicker than the others. So I was like, all right. But I was a Mad Magazine nut. So.
Through the Wanderer.
Yeah, Through the Wanderer, Sergio Aragonés, that stuff. Yeah.
Breckin, you said that you weren't that much of a comic book.
That's exactly what I just said. You are catching what I'm throwing. Yeah. Yes.
What is your creative investment then in shows like this?
Very little on this one. No, I mean honestly, it's Robot Chicken. I write with the guys and everything, and then do voices as well. That's where we started. With this, I was saying over there, Zeb is by far my favorite writer we've had on Robot Chicken. I don't say we, like I'm his boss. I mean that I've written with in the room. Zeb's by far my favorite writer to write with, to read his stuff, to do the scene, to be able to voice scenes that he wrote when we were on Robot Chicken. When he started doing this, we started the SuperMansion. I was, just sitting by the phone, like, oh, here we go. Here's my guy. My guy's got a show. By the way, I did this show. I did a sitcom Men at Work that I wrote. That I tried to get Zeb on. He could not because he was busy directing Robot by then. And so, but again, then I heard he and Matt sold a show, and I was like, here we go. Daddy gets to work with Zeb. And then the phone never rang. And then the episodes started getting made, and I was like, really? They cast everybody already? That's interesting. And I would send Zeb angry texts. And then at one point, he gave a dog a bone. He's like, there's a one-line role you can come do or whatever. I did a little role in season 1. And now in season 2, I've become recurring. So at some point, I'll be a regular.
At some point, you'll be a regular
At some point, I'll be a regular. Season 5 or 6 or whatever. Once Crackle takes it away from Zeb and brings in the new guy, like when they took Sorkin off the West Wing. So it won't be as good, but I'll be happy to do it. So that's what I look forward to. So that's my creative involvement.
Crackle provides a lot of freedom for you guys to pretty much do whatever.
Yeah, they've been great. I love working with them. They give great thoughtful notes, but then they're always very deferential. They want to make sure that we're making the show that we want to make. And so I couldn't have asked for more. And they believed in the show. They wanted it to be, when we were shopping it as an 11-minute show, they wanted it to be 22 minutes so we could build out the characters. And so we owe them a lot. I mean, couldn't be happier there.
It looks like they put some money into it.
Yeah.
It really looks great.
Yeah. And it's fun to see our artists at Stupid Buddy Studios with Robot Chicken, where they have to build so many sets and so many characters. They get to focus on, you know, one set for a week, or they get to focus on these one puppets, and seeing what they're capable of when they get a little bit more time. It's really impressive and fun to see.
Yeah, generally, how long does it take to like film an episode? 'Cause it probably varies like wildly. But
yeah, we get about 10 seconds out of an animator every day if everything goes right, which it never does. So we get, when we're up and we have 20 stages going, we will get 10 minutes a week. And
so crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
You're like, to a bunch of episodes too, so you're like everywhere. Like,
Yeah.
It's just the fact that 10 seconds is a great day.
Yeah, yeah.
Nothing goes wrong, you get 10 seconds.
Yeah.
We only got 9 today.
Insane fight sequences, like really
Yeah.
intricate, kind of like really cool action.
Yeah.
And months and
That must
months.
take, yeah, I'm thinking it's taken forever.
Yeah, and that's really fun because we have a few animators. Brad Schaefer is one of them that is just great at doing that, and so that when we do those, it's really fun. We'll put the camera on a piece of wood so that he can animate the camera as he animates the puppets, and you'll see it gives it a very
angles, yeah.
it gives it a great energy, and so it's all collaborative. You know, I couldn't do it without an animator who can think like that, and that way I can just like give him the quick beats and then walk away, and he'll come back and he'll do a pop through and show me what he's thinking, and it's just amazing.
Who designs the fight scenes?
Well, I'll sit with the board artist and we'll talk about it, but depending on who is doing it, if I know that they are great at thinking like that in 3D space and moving the camera, I'll let them interpret whatever the boards are and just say, hey, whatever you come up with is going to be better than what I can think of.
Just basically asking, give me an action scene, not an action scene that needs to end with this happening?
No, I would tell them like what the beginning, middle, and end would be. And I would just say, if you come up with some cool stuff in between there, please do it. Please make me look as smart as possible. I need help.
Why stop motion? Why claymation? I mean, I love it, but why did you?
I ask it every
We
day.
don't know.
You're saying 10 seconds
know.
a day. That's
Could've been
crazy.
20
It's
seconds.
a great medium, but what made you decide to go that route? I
It
mean,
just happened. I don't know why any of us are in stop motion.
it seems like it's pain in the ass.
Yes.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a giant pain.
Because it just started with Matt and Seth needing to make something for Seth to take on Conan O'Brien.
Yeah.
They did stop motion animation and animated their action figures. That became Robot Chicken. We started writing on Robot Chicken.
Don't let us out.
If I got one more question, what's the arc that you really want to do? Like, like you talk about Craven with Spider-Man, or the Illuminati, or Secret Avengers, or what's an arc you want to kind of riff on?
Well, I think we got to do a few of them in the second season. We have a great Days of Future Past type episode, which you got to do if you're doing a comic book, and seeing the future versions of the characters. It's just so much fun. And then we had a giant space god show up that was going to destroy the Earth that they have to go deal with. So I think if we do get a season 3, I really want to go back and look at what my favorite arcs were, and make sure I do them all before they take the show away from me, if they do. Just in case it's my last shot.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks guys.
Thank you.